is hovering it, but he hasn't played it before. It's been KSP and Sit that's been the prolific Tracer-Widow combo that we've seen so far, so I don't expect him to roll out the gate with that. Problem is, you always have to take a Widow to contest another Widow, unless you're playing some incredible dive, which, not to take away from Puppies, they're more than capable of. We've already seen them play that chaotic style, and if they can cause chaos, they can start winning fights. But for Orgless and Hungry, after how sorted and set in their ways they looked in that second map, it's going to be a tall order.
Well, Mirror on the Genji might be able to get up in the face of Kevster, but it doesn't matter much if they got an Orisa shield and double sniper up on the high ground. We see that a lot for an early strat, and they're going to reinforce. There's something a little bit more stable.
They're playing, again, this big comp, and this time around it's not triple tank coming through, it's triple DPS behind one support and two tanks. Orgless and Hungry are going all out trying to make sure they can shut Bazooka Puppiez down before that dive becomes too scary.
And already Mirror's dived into the mix. Meta going to be the one to get the kill with the micro missiles, so that forward operating base of Orgless and Hungry has had to retreat back to the center hub. Legday getting a DMech and the kill, so neutralizing both the tanks of the Puppies should give them a foothold on the point and make sure no one's beefy around there. But Mirror's got something to say. Finds Denia, cuts through the mech, cuts through the Diva, and he's going to go for the melee, has to pop over to deflect. And he's going to get sniped on the way down by Kevster. Sits there for cleanup duty, throwing a few sits on the floor as they're going to capture point A, moving on to point B.
That opening catch onto Casper just kind of set the tone for that fight. You didn't have the big melting potential of the Hanzo there. We know what Storm Arrow can do. And while they just wiped their way through, we said we need to see pretty prolific dive for this to work for them, Tridd, and they showed it in spades.
Oh, that tactical crouching tickled me a bit, Des. I'm not going to lie to you.
That was an incredibly tactical, well thought out crouch indeed.
Well, Sit's going to change it up, going on to the Brigitte, so a little bit of reinforcement, someone a beefier, but also providing that support healing as well. See Kevster trying to mix it up on a Tracer of his own after he literally got sit down by Sit. And he's going to move on to the point. Just back off. He's playing away, trying to find the angle to get in here. And Mirror takes to the sky. He's got that Dragon Blade straight onto Casper. Wants to go for more. Misses that second slash, but he's found Mercy. Denia also going to feel that blade as Legday's escaping off. While this has been going on, Epps and Orgless and Hungry have been getting some semblance of a kill, trying to get control over this point. Transcendence coming out onto the point to reinforce the Bazooka Puppiez. Nice stick by Kevster. Going to be finished off by Casper's Storm Arrow as Kevster going to come back in for Tri-Spear. Mirror taking out Casper. And he's going to dash through Orgless and Hungry. He knows he has to retreat. Can't quite escape though.
Orgless and Hungry there, definitely kind of running it down to the wire. Ep switched over to the Brigitte, so they dropped away from that triple DPS setup, which I think made the difference there. Being able to lock down even one member of this dive lineup out of Puppies meant that they could get this into a 6 versus 5, turn the fight in their favor. Because to be honest with you, Bazooka Puppiez bursting around from the left with Valkyrie active and a Genji Blade coming out is a terrifying sight at the best of times.
Orgless and Hungry have been quite terrifying this round, but Bazooka Puppiez, with the pace and energy they're putting into this, they've also been matching them in that fear. The Dragon Strike comes in from behind.
But they're winning tricks.
No kills to be found, but you're right, Des. Bazooka Puppiez taking control. He's going to be taking out Mirror, finding Epps. Denia gets the resurrection, but it might be all for nothing as that high charge is going to cut through Legday, taking him out of the sky. Kevster's dancing around. Mirror's found a Farah. He's found the Winston, and Tri-Spear is going to pick up Casper. That's a Doomfist from Kevster just to try and stall. Bazooka Puppiez have control, and now it's all about turning off the tap nice and tightly, making sure there's no more drips coming out from the faucet.
No more drips indeed, only a couple more throwing themselves at the point here. It's basic cleanup work coming through for Puppies, and they are making sure every single body who comes back on that point goes down there. Very close, out comes the surge. That's going to be the end of Orgless and Hungry's defense. Bazooka Puppiez with a very decisive attack, and I feel that, Tridd, they actually caught Orgless and Hungry off guard with this huge swap up of their composition. They even had the rally to roll over, which was the big difference maker there.
Yeah, they managed to get the stop clock and turn it off, make sure no water was running out very quickly. And they've got a sizable time bank to play with going into their second attempt, if it's even necessary. They're going to jump onto the defense now, and Orgless and Hungry might be a little bit scared of what they have to contend with on Temple of Anubis.
It was kind of a reluctance to switch out of Orgless and Hungry there that really cost them, I think. They were still playing these dive tanks with the Hanzo wanted to sit on the high ground. You even had Denia sat on one of the posts just spraying his pistol down because he had no one to heal because everyone else had already died. So I think if they'd switched over to a tank comp, even sticking with the Orisa and just going for some more anti-dive, throw that in the mix, that would have shut Bazooka Puppiez down at least for a while longer. And if it didn't, then at least you had the tire to be able to try and shut down the big tank comp they rolled out with. So more a failure to adapt there for Orgless and Hungry really bit them a bit. And Puppies, Now they've got to show that they can defend equally as well. I'm curious to see if they opt towards going for the double sniper setup as well, but I can't imagine they'll play anything like that single healer because, well, you saw exactly why it struggles. As soon as dive comes through, that healer is no more.
Looks like Bazooka Puppiez are going to opt for a bit of a split DPS comp. Going to send Sit in the back line with the Widowmaker and let Mirror run amok on Orgless and Hungry as they try to aggress onto them.
And I take back as well what I said about Mirror at the very start. I expected to see Sit and KSP coming through on this map, but Mirror showed that he is the pinnacle of this dive comp. His Genji Blaze were fantastic on on the second point especially. Obviously didn't work out too well for them, but he did cut through 3 members before he went down, and that again is the big fight-changing DPS player that you want on side when you're running a comp like that.
They got the classic support duo as well of Mercy and Zenyatta for Bazooka Puppiez. Orgless and Hungry gonna run out with the triple tank, double heal, and the solo DPS. Or they're gonna mix it up to the classic Ghost. Debated once again, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not Ghost, mate. That's triple, that's quad tank.
That is quad tank. Mixing it up yet again. Debated myself that time around. So, throwback to Season 1. Putting themselves all together, going to move as a unit. Meta being hooked in. That's what makes a quad tank great. The hooks coming out from the Roadhog. Unfortunately, Orgless and Hungry not quick enough to the punch to be able to make sure that they get that. Kevster's hiding off to the side somewhere. He's not with the rest of the team, so you might have to get some healing and jump in from another angle as they move onto the point. 3 bodies down there. Everyone's dancing around. Casper again finding Sit. That hook was huge to shut down Orgless and Hungry. Now they just need to maintain control. Casper has found Sit with the flame strike. And now there, another hook. He pulls him straight back to the ground. This guy is an anchor. It doesn't matter what you're trying to ascend. He's going to keep you well placed on the ground. Orgless and Hungry, they're going to roll over point A.
Roadhog more like Roadhog, with all 3 hooks that came out of him being crucial. Getting the Widowmaker, getting rid of the Winston as he was trying to dive away. We speak so much about Urki, but hey, there's hidden guys in Contenders just like Casper with big plays like that. This is why Quad Tank is alive and well, ladies and gents.
Look at the ult charge difference. A lot of switches from Bazooka Puppiez. They're mixing up the tanks to contend. Self-destruct going over the top. No kills to be found, but their ult economy is in disarray. Mirror's health bar, that's in disarray as well. Gonna get some healing, but he's knocked down by the shatter of Latex. Gonna keep him on the ground. Orgless and Hungry, they are rolling away with this. The whole hog forcing everyone into the corner. Progress is ticking up while this chaos is all going on. Someone needs to touch it. Someone needs to save the day. Who's the man on the point? It's gonna be Meta, but Bazooka Puppiez can't get through this choke point. There's a pin. Latex gonna be held up at Colsty, having to hide away. The block from Latex blocks out that self-destruct, and the Coalescent looking to save Casper. Everyone's on the point. Blocked out by Latex. Colsty just throwing shatters away at this point as the Coalescent coming out this time from Bazooka Puppiez, spraying down the rest of Orgless and Hungry. They were so close to capping it then, but they've still got 1 minute 20 to even match the time of the Puppies.
What did we speak about last round? Orgless and Hungry not adapting on the defense. Bazooka Puppiez, though, incredibly quick to do it themselves. Coming out with this tank-heavy setup, bringing Tri-Spear along on the Moira to make sure the heals were coming through. He got that Coalescence insanely quick, and you saw the outcome. They managed to hold off at least for a little bit longer.
Orgless and Hungry going to go at it again with a similar composition. This time they brought out the Moira as well, making sure they got Kevster on that Brigitte. So they've gone for the 3-3 to match the 3-3 Bazooka Puppiez. Coming in through the choke point, Latex already going incredibly low as Colsty getting up in the face, getting multi-man swings. There's the shatter, the self-destruct's going to the back. Dislocation for everyone else as Leo Dead is going to get the kill with his self-destruct. Latex still on the point, just holding down left click, hoping for the best. The Coalescence is making sure that it works. Charge straight into Meta. Not enough for the D-Mech. Couple of swings should do the trick. Won't let him out of the choke. There comes the D-Mech, and there should be a kill to follow up. No, self-destruct from Meta, shattered immediately. The shield's in place. 5 minutes on the point. Somebody get the frog out of here. Cool pest control. And Casper gonna cut him down. Sit being forced back out. 5 minutes on the point. Just so close. They're still contesting. They just went a little bit too far. Sit's gonna be taken out from Denia. Nearly identical times. 5 seconds separates them.
2 brawling teams coming through. That's basically what we have seen so far today. The first half, you could drive a wedge between those 2 teams with how far apart they were. In this game, though, you could not fit that wedge anywhere. It's incredibly close between the 2, both at 2-2, even time banks, both showing prolific parts of play that differ from each other. One rolling through with a heavy tank-based comp. The other one, well, with the Genji and the dive early on, as you saw. One team failing to adapt, the other adapting well. Big differences between them, but the same end result.
Orgless and Hungry. Going to take the defense option first.
Oh, not again.
Running double sniper.
Not again.
And triple support with the Orisa. So, Des, by the sounds of things, you're not too happy about that.
Well, they got rolled over by dive in the first place, and the problem is with this comp, there's no anti-dive aspect to it. There is no Junkrat with concussion mines, with traps, just to make sure they stay away and don't dive in onto those crucial targets. The one change they've made is they've put Legday on to the Brigitte. That could be the big change because that is their anti-dive in this case. It's not as impactful as what the Junkrat would be. It doesn't have the damage. But when you've already got 2 DPS on side, why bother? I've actually noticed they've actually changed it up big time. No Diva either. They've gone for single tank double support.
Yeah. Mentioned that. Latex is going to throw that shield up, so they've got a nice little hub to hide behind that forward operating base that just slowly gets pushed back by the aggression of Bazooka Puppies. They're going up the side, so unfortunately don't have as wide a shooting range as they'd like with this one. Still going to take a few pop shots before they retreat off. Casper staying a little bit longer than he maybe should do, but he's going to get back to the safety of the rest of his team as Bazooka Puppies just taking their time with this offense.
Playing it nice and slow, no rush there. They've got 4.5 minutes on the clock. That's more than enough time to be able to win at this first point. But Kevster, he's the one who gets the only first blood to sit here, so it's not going to be Casper going down first time. Resurrection
in the pocket for Insomniac, so they're going to level out the numbers straight away. Tri-Spear going to back up Mirror as the dive, and Kevster finally going to be taken out. They need to be careful though. Denia could probably get a resurrection in there. They leave him alone. They've got to put the pressure on. Legday takes out Sit again, this time with the rocket flail whip. He's not going to be able to have any more of those tactical crouching. Casper with the double. It's just a D-Mech and a tank kill, but it's good enough. Follows it up with a double Storm Arrow kill onto Tri-Spear and Mete. Orgless and Hungry, unlike last round, shut down the first push.
They got hard focus there onto the Orisa, and well, when the Orisa's got all the heals coming through and you've got double sniper set around it, they're going to pick off the members that aren't even paying attention to them. This is the danger of double sniper on defense. We see it a lot on King's Road that teams put focus in the wrong place and lose out on the angles. The exact same thing happened there.
Can't pick off isolated members if you stick together. That's what's happening for Bazooka Puppies now, running the 3-3. Taking the high ground. Will they do the switch we see certain teams do where they go one way and they go, actually, no, debated, we're going back the other. Can't get away with it with the recon arrow from Casper. They're going to know exactly where they're moving. Dragon Strike is available. Could catch them off guard in the transition if they go for it.
They're all going to seat down to the low ground, I think, and drop down from the back. In fact, no, just going to jump straight on the point, which means now Orgless and Hungry need to go to them. Orisa, not the most mobile tank in the world, is going to
struggle. They're going to flush them out.
Big
they're flushing the rats out of the pipe, throws in the Dragon Strike, and everyone runs onto the point. It's now open season for Orgless and Hungry to take out Bazooka Puppies. Protected barriers are going to stem the flow, but once they're gone, there's only a few members left. Mira going to be the last one to fall, but Orgless and Hungry got a solid grasp of point A this time around.
Great patience coming out of Casper there. I thought he forced it when they were first heading towards the stairs just to try and force them back into the low ground so they had that high ground advantage over them. But by holding onto it for the whole time, well, you saw the outcome. They basically pinned themselves into a corner. There was no way out except for the Dragon Strike, and they got melted.
Casper's being a little bit greedy, wanting to move back with the team, but he's doing good work at the moment. The recon arrow there, he's got plenty of information to give. Bazooka Puppies going for this again, sticking together, using Lucio's speed boost to make sure they can move fast and swift. Constantly being held up, but both the shield users are going to be there to block all the damage. Now they're going to run straight at them. They figure the point isn't good enough for them. Kevster taking the high ground.
Nice.
Meta's got his number, getting in his face. The spray down, but it's not enough damage to take him out. Meta could get D-Mech. He has been D-Mech by Kevster. That's all gone horribly wrong for him. And the rest of Bazooka Puppies aren't faring much better on the ground. Casper's already got that Dragon Strike available again. The snipers are running free as Sit's going to fall victim. And Legday engages in some supportal combat for a team kill.
Fantastic defenses coming out of Orgless and Hungry so far. Good response, I think, from Meta as well, identifying that Kevster was going towards the high ground. He just couldn't 1v1 the Widow, and that's not something we're used to seeing. A Diva losing in a 1v1 at close range to a Widowmaker.
That only happens if you put the legwork in before the true engagement happens. If you get some damage off some of your teammates and get a few shots. Here's a Graviton Surge, though, to accelerate the fight a little bit longer. Dragon Strike going to be thrown out. Oh, the boop! That was incredible from Insomniac to guarantee that triple kill. That has won them the point for Bazooka Puppies. They are still alive on Temple of Anubis.
Holy hell, that's the kind of play we want to see, because we're so used to Grab Dragon, the last thing you expect is a Lucio and a Diva coming together. I have never seen that before, but that was fantastic timing coming out of Puppies. That's not the first time we've seen them have a brilliant sync play like that.
Insomniac staying up all night for that one, but it doesn't matter. He can stay up as long as he likes. No bedtime for him, as they're just going to roll, keep the momentum in their pocket, moving straight onto point B with 5 members on the point. It's running down. Can anyone get there fast enough? It's the Doomfist from Casper. He's already been taken out. Kevster's been gone. They throw Latex on him, but he's no good either. Is there any person who can stay alive on this point? They're banking it on Lucio. Denny is going to go down, and Legday's not there in time. It was going so right for Orgless and Hungry, and then all of a sudden, Insomniac appears and gets them off of his property.
They may not be top of the Group A standings, but right now, they are at the top of my heart. Plays like that I live for. Rolling over the first point, rolling straight onto the second as well, and completing. That's how you break an impressive defense. And Orgless and Hungry, up until that point, they looked impeccable. You can't even say they weren't impeccable there on the defense. It was just a surprise. No one expects the Sneaky Frog to get behind you, boop you all into the self-destruct. First time for everything. I love it.
That only worked because it was Orisa. If that was a Reinhardt, he could have repositioned his own shield. If it's locked down on the floor and deployable cover, you can't move it with you if you get relocated. Fantastic play from Bazooka Puppiez to clinch them. Another attempt at Temple of Anubis, assuming Orgless and Hungry can complete this time around. And based off of their previous attempt, I'm going to guess they will, Des.
I'm going to enjoy watching that battle later on and seeing my voice disappear.
It did go a little bit.
It did a bit, mate. I think all of it. Those moments are what we live for, like I keep on saying. But maybe there's more moments to come. And now it's Orgless and Hungry's time with 4 minutes, 41 seconds to try and break the Puppies' defense. And we saw it work so well with the quad tank last time. This time round, they're opting to go for dive. Kind of.
Well, they got a little bit on the
There
go. There
we
we go. They mixed it up. We're getting debated a lot today, Des, by these picks. But Kevster, Casper, they're on the Genja Tracer dive. Genja Tracer dive.
And Puppies,
yes,
they're on the good old anti-dive.
Well, let's see how it fares. It's the battle of the compositions. Kevster going off to the side by himself. Secret Agent Kevster infiltrating the back line. Looking for any stragglers who might be playing further back. Goes straight for Insomniac.
Beautiful.
Instantly killed. The cohesion between him and Latex was so efficient there. Bazooka Puppiez had no chance of stopping it. They're trying to get a few kills to stem the flow, but it's not going to work. They have complete control of this point and just need to pick off Meta, who's been demaked. But no, he's going to go for the stagger. Tracer safe, it's just going into the defense matrix.
They want to catch point here and just run when it's a 5 versus 6. They're trying to hold this out as long as they can.
Yeah, they have the body block. Now they have to kill him, though.
Now they can go for the run, though. Really cool thing about that one there is that I think for Bazooka Puppiez, they thought, well, we've got this anti-dive, we can play pretty far back. They were not scouting where the Tracer was, and you saw the exact outcome. Tracer dives on the Mercy, Winston dives in. She's only got a bit of HP, Tridd. She's going to die incredibly quickly.
Not as fast as I'd like them to capitalize on the momentum. They stalled a little bit. I think they were contemplating having a few changes. So the time advantage from that Diva stall not as impactful as it could have been, but they're still going to push forward with this anyway. Meta already about to lose his mech. He's got a Discord orb on him. They're going to change it over to the Monkey. They're forced into the back corner. There's a D-mech and a kill. Both tanks have been eliminated by Casper. Follow up with the Pulse Bomb onto Sit, and Casper again onto Tri-Spear. They've got control of point B. We expected more of the same from their first offense. Can they get there in time? No, they can't. They have 3 minutes over Bazooka Puppiez for a third attempt at Temple of Anubis.
So much for that early bedtime for these guys. They really want to duke it out on Anubis, and it's going to be close, but 4 minutes on the side of Orgless and Hungry does set them up, or it teased them up to win this, but they were the ones with the prolific defense. It wasn't the Puppies. Now they've got 1 minute to try and crack Orgless and Hungry. I don't think they'll be able to get the same playoff twice.
If they
they're going to try, but they're not going to.
If they do, though, how bad do you feel if you're Orgless and Hungry? If that just happens to you twice? And it's the only reason why Bazooka Puppiez break the defense. Yeah,
that was a tough one, because even if they knew the Lucio was there wasn't much they could do in response. They try and run away. They're still going to get caught out by him in time. And in that last round, like I said, it was kind of the worry for Puppies that on their defense, they didn't have the knowledge of where the Tracer was. They didn't have someone calling where Tracer was. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had the Mercy playing so far back from the main tank core. They were just so paranoid about being dived on the Orisa high ground. They've got a Junkrat. That's what it's designed to do, is to get those divers away from the key members as soon as they come anywhere near you. But by playing off point, he got picked off incredibly quickly, and the defense was over from there, because you rely on that res so much on first point of assault.
In Overwatch, the best deterrent is almost always damage. Look where Orgless have positioned themselves. I think they're expecting Bazooka Puppiez to run a very tight composition here, clashing in the small ground. But if they get the advantage, if they get the element of surprise, they could turn it in their favor.
They have, but I think Puppies are going to see no one on this high ground and know something strange is going on. They will make sure they have scouts going out before they all commit to a direction. If they boost around this corner
keeping the Orisa there. Keeping the Orisa there to think they might be in the back line. There's the side smash from Latex. They bought that hook, line, and sinker. But where is Orgless and Hungry now? They're still getting the kills. Meta going to level it out onto Latex. They're going to have to retreat. The spawn difference between these two teams is much in favor of Bazooka Puppiez, but the thing they don't have is the time. They've only got 30 seconds left. They've lost a couple of members already. They're going to keep going with this push, hopefully abuse the man advantage as Meta's going to take to the sky, go over the shield, drop down above them, but Mira's getting the kill onto Denia. He's fine Kevster. Insomniac even getting on the board with a kill onto Casper. They just need to get a D-Mech and a kill here, and they should be able to take control at this point, get themselves an extra 30 seconds, and maybe go for another completion.
Once again, Tri-Spear just sitting behind the tanks, healing them up the whole time that Orgless and Hungry was spraying them down. He gets that coalescence online, and once that coalescence is up, you're giving so much healing over to all your members as they're pushing forward. It's very, very difficult to bring them down.
30 seconds remaining for Bazooka Puppiez. They could get themselves a 6 scoreline. Colsty, he's got himself a shatter. Mira's got the ult as well. The Graviton Surge could be big for them as Meta's also about to hit his self-destruct. They've got everything in their pocket. They need to make it work, but they're fighting against the Coalescence. Casper getting a kill onto Mira, taking out one of the crucial ultimates. Here comes the self-destruct. The Shatter was there as well. Double kill. Latex Denia. It might level the man advantage, but the spawn is still in favor of Orgless and Hungry. That Graviton Surge keeps them together, but no one dies. The rally was there to sustain them through it, but Kev's is going to be able to burst through that damage irregardless. Leoded's going low, getting healed up. It's a nice balancing act for Epps to keep him alive and take him out. 0 seconds remaining. Overtime ticking down. A valiant effort. They're going to end Temple of Anubis with 5 points.
Bringing the Rhine down there was crucial, because if once Mira got down that Grav Surge, if the Rhine was still alive, you pop a bubble on him and say, go nuts, man, just go and kill him. You've got a Moira right behind you spraying you down for all the health. He just swings away, and that's dealing 75 HP per swing to every member in front of him. That's going to hurt, and that's the combo you see coming out so often, when there's nothing to combo the Grav Surge with. So good focus by Orgless and Hungry to make sure that main shield was out of the fight immediately.
4 minutes. They just need to get point A and get themselves some of point B.
Just a little bit.
Just a smidgen. And they'll have themselves a victory on Temple of Anubis, putting them in a great position of series points moving into the final map.
Puppy's looking to roll out once again with the good old Orisa setup. We've seen quite a few variations on it today. We've seen double sniper, we've seen single healer, we've seen Brigitte and one other healer. That's what we're seeing once again coming through now. We've even seen triple DPS sitting behind that with 2 healers and the Orisa. So lots of variety. Teams constantly trying out different things. I imagine scrims probably get a bit crazy on this map. But as it stands, they're rolling out with that Roadhog once again. So Roadhog, I really like it here because we've already seen what players can do with it. When you get that one pick, it shuts everything down. It's not quite a second sniper, but it's definitely the second pick flank potential, which can really set things up for your team.
Will it be Casper level of Roadhog? That's going to be a big telling point.
It's a support player on it, but we've seen some amazing support players playing it before.
Well, let's see how he rolls out with this one. Going to have Insomniac. Mira taking over Brigitte's responsibility. Sit wants to get up high and get himself some shots. Make sure Orgless and Hungry are constantly fighting at a disadvantage, whether it be health or person.
Where's the flank? Where's the flank? That's what Sid's thinking right now. Where's the flank? I can't find him.
He's scoping too much. He needs to be quick scoping if he wants to keep his eyes open, have a wider FOV, see where it's coming from. Tries to take a shot out of the monkey. Finds Denia instead with a nice little flick. Looking down. There's already a Tracer on there. Now he's got the attention of Winston, who's going to ride up there with the lightning. The bubble will protect him on his way down. Epps doesn't have such a luxury, so he'll go to the grave. Mira takes down Latex as he bites off more than he can chew. The rest of Orgless and Hungry can't fully commit to this, so they're going to have to back off and try again. We're
going to have to see some coordination coming out of Orgless and Hungry on the dives, because you saw exactly what happened when Latex tried to jump onto the Widowmaker. She just zipped across to the high ground and was perfectly safe. There was no Tracer, there was no Diva, there was no one chasing after him, knowing that's exactly where he would run to. Every single Widowmaker does it, but Latex is now going to switch out to the Rhine. They're abandoning dive altogether, Tridd. They're rolling with the 3-3.
Kevster still on Tracer for now, so they're going to run themselves with that extra DPS. Now Kevster going over to the Widowmaker, so he's isolated. They're trying to draw the attention. They must be aware someone else is here, otherwise they wouldn't be watching the front like that. You must know something is up because they're not entirely focusing on that pack that's moving on to the point. Now they have to, but Kevster, he could be up in the rafters. You might not even see it coming as he starts to rain down fire from behind you. Sits on him, but Kevster gonna be able to get the kill. This opens up Orgless and Hungry to have some great support fire from the back line, but the team itself is holding up nicely. Well, Bazooka Puppiez have to be conscious of the back line. Kevster doing work, taking out Mira, giving him an advantage. There we go, another Tri-Spear gonna fall down. Beautiful split by Orgless and Hungry. They take control of point A and give themselves some decent time to go for point B.
This is just why having a Widowmaker versus a Widowmaker is so important, because whoever won that fight between those two, they had the perfect flank, either into the back of the attacking team or the back of the defending team, and it worked wonders. You saw exactly what Kevster's impact was. Now they've got to make it work on the second push. He switched over to the Reaper. We never see Reaper, but they fully expect they're coming up against tanks.
Oh, Shatter being blocked up by Colsty. Good work there. Self-destruct going to be fruitless for Bazooka Puppiez, for Orgless and Hungry as they jump on there, but Kevster getting in the face. Insomniac can't ride away from him when he's that close to the Reaper. He's going to have to use a little bit of Wraith form, stunned up, looking for the kill. Can't beat through that healing of Mirror as he's going to return to the rest of the Orgless and Hungry team. But that leaves a Reaper to fight with tanks by himself. He should be able to win this nice and easy. Oh, he's getting reinforcements from Derry, giving him the speed, giving him the healing. But the rest of the team won't be needing it now as the kills are rolling in for Orgless and Hungry. Nearly going to have that ultimate. That could be the wipe he needs. They only need 33% to get themselves the victory. Where's Bazooka Puppiez? No one can touch. Orgless and Hungry go 2-1 in this series.
Reaper is so irritating because you have to focus him because of the insane damage and healing he brings out, but you focus him, you can't focus the tanks that are running you down and dealing just as much, if not more damage. So it was a real difficult situation for the Puppies, but well played by Orgless. Very, very good, convincing take, all pinned down to that sniper duel as well.
Yeah, really nice play coming out there from the end. Unfortunately, when Sit fell to Kevster, and he has that split attention because you're in a position, if your team takes control of that point, the defending teams has to sit on there. They can't commit the resources to deal with their Widowmaker. Interesting stuff coming out from both teams. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to bring you the final map of this series. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders Europe. We're in the final map of the series between Orgless and Hungry versus Bazooka Puppiez, and it's match point for Orgless and Hungry after a quite tumultuous, shall we say, Temple of Anubis.
We definitely should. And to be honest with you, this series could end right now at a best of 3, and I would be super content because first map went completely one way towards the Puppies, the next one all the way towards Orgless and Hungry, and that last one, although the final push was quite decisive from Orgless and Hungry, it was a thoroughly entertaining map. What can we say? That whole triple kill coming out of the self-destruct with the boot from Insomniac on Lucio, It's the stuff of dreams.
That's definitely probably going to go in the highlight montage we have to open the show next week. It'll just be,
it has to.
Just a heads up, though, you will have to like turn down your headphones because me and Des got a little bit excited during that, understandably. But Watchpoint Gibraltar going to be our final map of the day, and it seems to have a lot of versatile strats on it, but a lot of them are catered around to double sniper compositions, which I think actually benefits Orgless and Hungry more, depending on which roster Bazooka Puppiez is going to field.
If KSB doesn't get fielded for this one, then I imagine he just wasn't up for playing this week, or the team thought, hey, we've been practicing this stuff, it's going to work wonders. They've got to change things around, I think, because they're at the case now where they've lost the last 2 maps in a row. Bring in the guy, the Wonder Kid, as everyone's calling him. This guy's 16 years old. He's a wonderful Widowmaker player who's been turning heads everywhere he goes. Some players are like, is this guy for real? Like, he's literally constantly popping off like a player would when they're, air quotes, on fire.
He's definitely been on fire for the first couple of weeks. I can give you that one, Des. Great new addition. We've had a couple of UK superstars turn up, which has always made me happy. But let's focus on what we got in this map. Colsty's return to Bazooka. Well, not return. He's a rival to Bazooka Puppiez. It's been a solid pickup. There's been a lot of good shatter blocks. There's been some not so great as well from his own. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Understandable when you've not had a lot of time to practice with this team coming into fill in and help shore with the roster. And
you've got to think about it from his perspective as well, where you've come into playing with a team fresh. You've probably been used to playing on another team where you have strategies or plans, or you just know what your guys are going to be doing. The one thing that really stood out to me was when he pushed pretty much solo into the first point of King's Row and got dropped incredibly quickly without his team. That definitely showed the old mindset and having to adapt towards the first mindset. So, no problem. These things will happen as we go along. And, of course, you get back to see us because we've got to wait for the game to get underway.
Yeah,
players have a bit of hype control, I think, for those guys, and for us as well.
Maybe they can kind of tone it down a little bit, but I kind of agree with what you're saying with Cole Steele, though. I don't think that's a personal performance issue. I think that's just a synergy issue, and that'll just get ironed out as time goes on.
If they did all commit to the play going forward, then it would have worked out very differently for them, potentially, unless there was, of course, strategies on the other side to handle such aggression, but we'll never know. Maybe in a future week we get to find out.
Here's a tip for you in solo queue. The idea might not be great, and it might be a loss, but if you all do the same idea, it's more likely to exceed if you all do your own thing.
It's the best feeling in the world when everyone's just like, kill this guy. Everyone's like, yep, dive now. Okay, go. And then dive works incredibly well in solo queue when you play it together. It also works incredibly well in competitive too.
It's also really hard to do in depending on where you actually fall in the SR ladder. Like Des said, players are taking a little bit longer to get ready, so we're going to have a quick break, and then we're going to come back and hopefully bring you the start of map 4. we're back and hoping to jump into that final map of Orgless and Hungry versus Bazooka Puppiez, which has been nothing but delightful so far. We're hoping we're going to finish up on a high as well.
It's like playing with a small group of puppies. You just feel so happy inside watching these guys play against each other. They've been fantastic so far, and we get to see it end on Gibraltar, which is starting to show some interesting strategies. We've seen the 3-2-1 Orisa comp I keep speaking about. We've seen double shield coming through in week 1. We've seen some interesting stuff, and I think you'll probably see more of it as the tournament goes on, as we get further through contenders. I am wondering if some teams are saving these big comps, though, for the right moment. But hey, we're getting into the map. That's always good news.
I can't agree more with you, Des. We want action. When it's as enjoyable as this, we just want more of it. And this is what Orgless and Hungry and Bazooka Puppiez are here to do. Like a Roman Colosseum. We're all there as a crowd cheering for blood. The only question is, who is the arbiter who decides whether it's thumbs up or thumbs down for the puppies? Because at the moment, they're the ones on their knees. And they've not got much to fight for anymore.
I'm just imagining you in a toga now, sat there in some big armchair, like thumbs up or thumbs down, like at a gladiator or something.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking, Des.
The big smug look on your face, some grapes on one side, wine on the other. Would be a great spectacle to watch Overwatch in that setting.
That's a typical Saturday afternoon for me, Des.
Pretty much, mate. You are a snob. Let's go with that one.
Hedonism at its finest.
So, speaking about what we're expecting to see, double sniper. Well, we're already seeing double sniper. Perfect. This is the standard comp that you see coming through on First Point Gibraltar. Reason being, you have the dive tanks to be able to contest this high ground, this blue box to the right-hand side of the screen. That's where all the action is going to happen. You'll likely see a Widowmaker sat a bit further back to be able to contest anyone that dives up there. You'll have the hands on the high ground to force the dives up there, and it just forces Orgless and Hungry to have to play very uncomfortably. However, they're rolling with the Orisas. They're going to play point. They don't even want to contest this high ground.
Bazooka Puppiez are like, this double sniper competition is brought to you by KSP. We've subbed them into the roster instead of Sit.
Cheeky. This could be really cheeky.
Epps on the Roadhog. Hang on, what's going on here? He's going to get the hook. Oh,
Colsey doesn't even react.
Colsey didn't even realise what happened. The rest of the action's going to take a fall in front of them. Unfortunately, it was an ambitious play by Epps, but he's not going to get it. So, let's have a look at what Orgless and Hungry are playing, because we've mixed it up. They're running the solo sniper, solo healer, sorry, Denia. Here's a hook from Epps. Pulls in this time. Beautiful defense matrix from Meta to shut that down. But the payload's been in motion the entire time, so it's on that final bend of point A. And this is the first time we're really seeing some action. And Kevster finds Insomniac. He goes up high, eyes up another one, but it's Epps who finally gets the monkey kill he's been looking for since this map started.
We speak about Mercy quite a lot. Essentially bringing her down first is the equivalent of 2 kills, because if you kill someone else, chances are, unless they are positioned in an absolutely ridiculous place, you'll be able to get that res down, which makes it a 7-man fight rather than a 6. Nice and easy push through for Orgless and Hungry to kick things off. Puppies, got to rally here, have that rallying cry and get yourself in a good spot. You've got to stop them now.
Leo Dead's taking out Meta after he was demeched by Epps. That pirate ship is not stopping. They're still keeping it forward, keeping it together. And they're moving round, and Bazooka Puppiez are playing very far back. They're being very respectful of the losses they're taking when these picks are happening. They don't want to overcommit, but they're giving up all the high ground territory to this double sniper. It just becomes so oppressive. There's a pause coming out, a little bit of more delays. I think that might be due to what we had a delayed match start for.
Yeah, Orgless and Hungry, this is that 3-2-1 Orisa comp I was speaking about, where you run the Orisa, you take the Roadhog, you take the Diva, double sniper, and then the Mercy. Idea being you haven't really got to worry about healing anyone because most of them are sat behind the shield. Real beauty of it was, and what's probably a bit different, is the flanks rather than coming out of the Roadhog and the Widowmaker, they just said to both of their snipers, get on the high ground, make sure their snipers are busy looking at you so we can push. And rightly so, Kevster even managed to find Insomniac, which should never happen because he should be pinned down by the enemy Widow. So a bit of a slip up. Now it's going to be all about that high ground contestation. And I've said it for the first time in Contenders. Legday, I hate
One
you.
of us.
One of us, apparently so.
Well, with Hanzo and Widowmaker up on top of the Harrier jet, it's going to be really hard for them to do anything. Like you said, Des, that's going to draw a lot of attention because it is frightening to have to deal with that. So I don't blame Orgless and Hungry. Sorry, was it Orgless and Hungry? I've completely lost sides. All these pauses are messing me up.
They were just like, yeah, let's ignore the high ground. Let's just stay on cart. Push all the way around. Not allowed to even contest us. They can't jump on points. If they do, they die to the Roadhog. We've already seen what Roadhog can do today. Don't want to get into a scrap with him.
Not at all. So that's where the fight's going to be happening. We're waiting for the game to restart yet again. KSP coming into the roster. Obviously, we understood that it was going to be double sniper. We know that if they bring in Sit, it's going to be more tracer orientated. Can play the snipers, but I think KSP is just a little bit more efficient at them. And that's really the variety that's added to the Bazooka Puppiez lineup.
I mean, earlier on, it was Mirror who we saw going on to the Widow because Sit's tracer is just that good. And we always speak about this guy playing on ping. He makes it look easy, even with the ping. It's like having training weights on. It's just like, if I can play with training weights on, imagine when they come off at LAN.
Yeah, that's terrifying. If he can make it to LAN and then we finally see him unleashed. I mean, that was all that the Tracer players were talking about last season was like, Can't wait to go on LAN. 0 ping. I'm going to gat some fools. And they absolutely did. Looking at the superstar Tracer players from last season, they were able to pull it off. So I expect SIT to be no different if we can make it that far. But of course, Bazooka Puppiez currently sat on a 0-2 scoreline. The only way they start to look at the possibility of making that is if they get a win here. And to do that, they don't have to win Gibraltar. They also then have to go and win the tiebreaker map, which is Ilios.
And that's a big ask. And the thing is, coming out of this, if Orgless and Hungary do win, they are then 0-3. One team made it out of groups. That was Young and Beautiful last season on 2-3. But they had a team, and I know exactly what you're going to say. They had a team in their group that went 0-5. So that was kind of a blessing in disguise for those guys. That made it quite lucky for them to stay in.
Which
I don't think you're going to get the same thing this time.
You can't get a 0-5 team anymore. Bazooka Puppiez are the only team without a win in Overwatch Contenders Group A. So if they lose today, it does really snuff out any chance of them actually being able to get into that top 4, barring some head-to-head that they might be able to win to knock someone down below with a similar scoreline. I think that's the only way it does it, but it's all about increasing your chances to get into that top 4, because the bracket is where it really matters in terms of your final positioning and how the rest of the tournament's going to play out.
Yeah, we spoke about playoffs on the desk earlier on and saying that final position that you end up in is a big deal because it determines who you're going to play. You forget for some teams, it's still that scrap of actually getting into playoffs in the first place that can be the real big nightmare in a way. And let's not forget, Giganti finished 4th in Group A last season. No one expected them to be there when we first started things off, but it was almost a blessing. You didn't expect them to be 4th.
Oh, no, I didn't. I expected them to win, though.
I know you did. You just like, yes, me.
Yeah, me.
Me and my fancy tie.
Yeah. Gifted by Tomba.
Yeah, got a nice tie.
Not many people have that tie.
In the world, I was told.
I'm not going to say who the other person is, because that just that'll just make my head feel even bigger. But moving on to it, the problem is if Bazooka Puppiez even do get to top 4, the chances are with their current scoreline, they're going to be 3rd or 4th. Who's currently 1st and 2nd of Group B?
Tough teams.
CIS Hope and Team Giganti. So you want to try and avoid that. We're going to avoid any more of our small talk, and we're going to go to a quick break, and we're hopefully going to come back when all these issues have been resolved. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders. Need to give you a quick update on what's happened with the map. So unfortunately, there's been some technical issues with Bazooka Puppiez involving their communication platform. That's disconnected and it caused them to basically go into map 4 with no comms available in the moment. Therefore, under the rules, they've forced out a complete map restart of Watchpoint Gibraltar now that the comm system is back up. So we're going to replay Watchpoint Gibraltar from the beginning.
It could be a good app, Ben. That was pretty clean.
It's cleaner than most of my casting.
It was a very clean update, yeah. I'll give you that much. It does mean a format restart, like you said. So maybe... This has always been a big problem for other games, where when games restart, all the strats that you brought out, all the things that have changed around are no longer really a surprise. To be honest with you, what we saw at the start of this map was nothing as a huge surprise. Double sniper with the wrister and things like that. That's nothing too groundbreaking, I want to say. We've seen teams do it quite a lot. I know it's been going on in scrims too. So maybe we see more of the same. We see the same execution. It does obviously give a small advantage in that you consider potentially that you then know what they want to try and run. But maybe they mix things up to keep it nice and fresh.
I don't know. Seems to be working out quite well for them last round. Why change it other than the element of surprise might be missing from it? I would like to see Epps attempt to do that Roadhog hook, sneaking under the bridge, but this time actually nail it.
I love how Colsey just didn't even turn to look. He was like, eh. He must have heard it, but just thought, eh.
You missed it, don't care.
Like, you can't do anything to me for the next 10 seconds, good luck.
And you just fire bits of shrapnel up there, but at that point, it's like him throwing a bucket of nails up there. It's not really going to hurt him that much.
I mean, you're tickling his armor, so he's just going to be like, and? I've got a healer right next to me, by all means, carry on.
Leans over the edge. Excuse me. Thank you.
Do you mind?
Thank you. Just gets back to what he was doing. So let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing, Des, and that's, of course, bringing you this final map of Orgless and Hungry versus Bazooka Puppiez.
And Puppiez running exactly the same thing they did last time. Double sniper with dive tanks. Let's hope it works out a little bit better for them this time. Orgless and Hungry equally. They're going to roll with the same thing.
Keeping Epps on that Roadhog. So the typical support guy who rebuilt this roster, making it all Swedish, is going to be going off-roll onto the Roadhog for now. So he's going to head under that bridge like last time, but they've already got Mira down below, spotted him out, and starting to fire some arrows at him. So he's going to retreat to the safety of the shield and ride along with the payload and look for an alternative flanking route.
Real cute thing there where Meta was sat down on the high ground using the animation to be able to see around the corner, and immediately they fired out the Orisa Holt to try and catch him, and he was like, nope, I'm out of here, and just sped away straight away.
Well, there you go, going to pull him off to the side again. Tri-Spear going low, but his shield will be repaired. Interesting split of attention now. They have Mira to get the kill on there, but Winston was going to stall out the payload. They were actually away from the direction that Orgless and Hungry were going to have to face, so maybe split attention, but while that attention has been split, KSP getting himself on the board. Welcome back to the match after being subbed out for one round, getting a kill onto Kevster with that Widowmaker.
And keep Mirror in as well just for the Hanzo sit. Obviously been a very prolific Tracer player so far, but maybe not opting for him when there's a double sniper comp to be played. Bazooka Puppiez did move things around a bit, so Hanzo moved from playing on that high ground off down to the low ground, which I think caught them maybe by surprise. Equally though, Orgless and Hungry are going to respond. They're going to take the high ground themselves. This is very different. We never see an Orisa go
there we go.
Here.
That's the hook Epps was looking for, but the defense matrix is good to try and keep him alive. Epps with the right click will get Colsey from a distance, and here's Casper with the D-Mech. No tanks for Bazooka Puppiez, so Orgless and Hungry are going to keep on rolling. Got the hook, enough to lock him in position for a kill from Leo Dead, but not going to be pulling in himself. Orgless and Hungry rolling away with point A, even with clear comms. Mira cannot dodge that hook, and he's going to get another kill. Orgless and Hungry moving on to the second phase.
Orgless and Hungry, a team of Roadhog players, it seems. It was Casper earlier, now it's Epps landing the big, crucial hooks. And although nice. Although he didn't catch Insomniac earlier on, what he did do is interrupt the res, which prevented them having another member back on field, because as we said, Mercy makes these fights into a 7-man affair. It's no longer a 6-man thing.
Look at the aggressive positioning from Orgless and Hungry. They're just leaving 2 on the payload. The snipers have taken the high ground.
Got him for
It's going to be difficult to play around this, especially when you cannot hide. Here's Winston jumping in. Misses the first tag. Now you can see Casper's got the reinforcements. Both tanks are up there. Where is the DPS? And it's Mira mixing it up with the Genji to get up high and in the face of these snipers. While this is going on, payload's still in motion. Here comes the Dragon Strike through. Storm Arrow goes until the deflect comes out, then hold on to the rest. Here's a supercharger from Latex to boost the rest of the team. Kevster takes out Mira. Casper's moving forward. He's on the ground floor with the rest of the tanks. That's a monkey in his face. He's got a Valkyrie to help heal him up. And now Meta going to lose his mech, but Colsey picked up the supercharger, and Denia going to get tagged in the back by Casper and Kevster. They've basically been untouched this entire fight, and you can see the work that pays off for Orgless and Hungry.
Although in most cases the Orisa Supercharger doesn't last long, it forces the enemy into action because that 50% damage boost, there's a reason why it's the ultimate in the game that has the highest number of team fights won off the back of it, because the damage it helps you pump out is absolutely absurd.
As an isolated Winston, so Colsty's by himself. Surely he's going to get reinforcements from his team any moment now. The payload, 3 members on the point. They're going to drop that down. Kevster, again getting KSP. Not having the best of games on Gibraltar, as Kevster's got a beautiful sightline. You can just see the defense matrix popping up occasionally, hoping to block any shots that will come out. And there you go, info sites available. Jumping over the roof, gets one tag, but it wasn't a headshot, so relatively untouched. Colty's going to land and get healed up. But now Casper's got the alternative angle on the other spawn door. Both snipers pinning down, doing exactly what they need to do. Nice tag. Latex going to take out Mirror. Self-destruct sent into the back. Leoded's getting a kill onto Colsty. Now Kevster going up to the sky, wants to find that tag onto KSP, gonna get exactly that. The payload hasn't been contested at all because the pressure these snipers are able to put out. He's gonna build up that Dragon Strike, might be able to fire one at the spawn. Mirror can only deflect for so long. Here's the Monkey jumping onto the point. Lightning in the bubble should keep him alive, but he's gonna drop down, there's no healers for them. Self-destruct, goes up into the air, KSP comes on the point. Nice clearance from the self-destruct, and there you go. Orgless and Hungry make it look effortless.
Despite a little bit of a stall at the start from that remake, the surprise of the Hanzo being on the low ground, they continue with what we saw before we had to go for the remake. And it literally ticks down by 1 second. 3 minutes and 59 seconds, it barely moved. Remember last time round, you were like, well, the timer went up, which we did not expect to see on an escort map. But now, Puppies have got to show us what they've got as well. Whether or not they can take this into Ilios, or if it ends here, and they walk away with a 0-3 record.
I'm waiting for the day where it ends on 4 minutes exactly, like nothing ever happened.
Even though you hear the sound ticking away, it's like, well, nothing's moving. What's going on? Is it crashed? Is it froze?
No, no, Overwatch never crashes or freezes dead.
No, it doesn't, mate. It's perfect.
Even when we had to restart the map, it wasn't down to Overwatch. That's what's better about it.
You're correct, mate. You are absolutely spot on. And else is spot on. Orgless and Hungry likely going towards exactly the same comp we saw coming out of Bazooka Puppiez on their defensive round. Double sniper with dive tanks, and the Mercy, of course, for good measure.
Well, there we go. Basically 4 minutes of time.
That'd be a great table to have.
And Hungry. It would be. Great for poker.
That'd be super cool. I don't know, look a bit like ominous with like the white light coming up and just like striking your face, giving you weird shadows. It's like a kid's horror story when you have like a torch or something.
It's fine. There's no neck for the shadow to be put onto. So unfortunately, so for me, I think I get away with it. But anyone else, no, it would be.
You just illuminate fully, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, just brighten up my already bright and shiny face. But Orgless and Hungry, like I said, 4 minutes in the time bank. A lot to contend to by Bazooka Puppiez. Even if they complete this, they're going to have to do it all over again. And that makes it incredibly difficult when you know you've already got another map ahead of you if you're looking for the win here.
Both teams running exactly the same comp as what the other ran in the last round. So Bazooka Puppiez going again towards that single healer double sniper composition, again to contest the high ground and make sure they've got enough manpower on the point to be able to push all the way through.
Will they be as successful? It's Tri-Spear, the support going on to the Roadhog as well. So that's not just an Orgless and Hungry special. Colsty's going to get onto that Orisa. They're going to move towards the point and the payload and get that moving. Kevster staying alone by himself. He's got a high risk of being tagged here unless he moves back to the rest of his team. Going to do that. No one's spotted out by the recon arrow because they're a little bit further back than I think they anticipate. But no one being caught on that is still good information to use.
So immediately falling straight back from Orgless and Hungry. In fact, they fell way back. Have they just completely surrendered this first point?
No, they surely wouldn't.
I think they have. They've just changed comp out. No, they are still around, but they went back.
They wouldn't surrender their first point.
That's super cheeky. They've gone back and changed out to a 3-3 here.
Where they're going as well. KSP's already found out Kevster though, so that's going to shut down half of this.
All right, 3-2-1.
KSP's going to use that grapple hook, gets himself up into the sky. This Kevster getting the kill, and Insomniac's going to rectify it. They're still getting the payload in motion. Orgless and Hungry need to start contesting this. They want to make a dent in this. Latex already getting picked out. They can't deal with the high ground pressure coming out from the snipers as Mirror going to get a kill with the Storm Arrow. KSP finds Kevster again. They've taken control of this map. Orgless and Hungry trying to be creative. They gave up so much control to make it happen. Leoded's the only person to get a kill from them so far. The Meta and the rest of the boys going to mark it in 2.2.
Giving up control wasn't such a bad thing because their intent was to rush the point when they had the tanks on there and just win with superior healing, with superior tank power, and basically remove Bazooka Puppiez from the point. But like you rightly said, Tridd, they have double sniper, they have angles. They had no one that was really easily able to contest double sniper and the Mercy on the high ground. You saw the end result, they got completely wiped out.
He's going to fire at the Scout and Arrow. Orgless and Hungry going to regroup, try and go at it again. Leoded's nearly got that self-destruct. Kevster's starting from 0% as he switched over to the Brigitte. But they're moving together still. They think this is going to work and they're nice and condensed. Tri-Spear can pull it away, but KSP can do work of his own. Finds Denia. So now there's not many options left. A stun and a knockoff. Going to get Roadhog off that high ground, but Mirror's still up there. to be able to rain down from above. Latex getting charged onto Colsty. That shouldn't be happening. Nice hook from Tri-Spear. Defense Matrix and Coalescence is going to deter him from moving further. There's Guardian, there's Resurrection onto Colsty. Going to bring him back whole hog, shredding through Orgless and Hungry. But the defense is good to keep him alive. Leo Dead's going to take him out with that self-destruct.
All right, good hold there. Bazooka Puppiez really trying to force the issue with Tri-Spear, but without that Roadhog around to at least provide the threat, Colsty gets wiped out as well, and Orgless and Hungry, this tank comp now coming to light and they're making it work. They did swap Kevster out from the Widowmaker onto the Brigitte though, so they don't really have too much to contest high ground. They're relying a lot on Leo Deads.
They're going to mix it up on the side of Bazooka Puppiez, going a little bit more tank-centric. KSP going over to the Brigitte, so
Mirrors.
They're just saying, anything you can do, I think we can do better, but I'm not quite sure. I still think I'm better than you.
Puppiez coming out with the tanks to match. This is going to be turned into one of those good old brawls that we normally see on King of the Hill mats. It's going to come out here on Gibraltar.
That's a bit cheating. That's like very cheating with the Graviton Surge, pulling them all together. Going to be a sound barrier to reinforce Orgless and Hungry. Maybe that fights against it. The rest of Bazooka Puppiez being forced back. Latex getting the kill on the KSP. Meta following up onto Kevster. And Mirror at 100 charge should be able to shred through any defense that Orgless and Hungry put out. Bazooka Puppiez starting to take control and flip the tide of this battle. Just need to get some progress on the board and convert it to get some mileage and get closer to completion on this map. But it's still being contested. Finally, Colsty gets a D-Mech and a kill with the assistance of Mirror. Nice punch, but it's Tri-Spear who gets on the board. That frog is so irritating, but Meta going to be the one to shut it down. Payload in motion. They've maybe got one more push in this stage of the map.
They won that whole thing with one ultimate, and it was the Coalescence. The rest of it was fantastic play from the team. Bouncing of aggro between Meta and Mirror. The shields that came out of him are the bubbles onto key members. The fact he managed to stay away from the Grav Surge, or the Earth Shadow, sorry, was the big part of it. Now the reverse combo.
Mixing it up again. Meta with the triple self-destruct. The second one of this series for him. This time without the help of Insomniac. He can do it with or without help. But that's going to be Bazooka Puppiez moving on to the final phase of the map, already matching the time of Orgless and Hungry.
Orgless and Hungry burnt so many ults in that previous fight, though, that it meant Bazooka Puppiez walked into this one with 4 ultimates on side, and you saw the exact outcome. No response from Orgless and Hungry. They've got a couple of things to play with now, so it's more of an even affair. But Tri-Spear, we've already spoke about his Moira today. It's been pretty much on point. You hold down left click, everyone stays alive. Let's see what they can do with
Rally
this.
and amp it up, immediately shut down by the Graviton Surge. Double self-destruct for Leo Dead. Gets a D-Mech onto Meta, and Epps is going to be there to finish it off. Casper's going to cut down KSP, so Orgless and Hungry, they want to burn even more this time bank. They don't want to leave them a fighting chance that they have to do it all over again.
We really wanted to get that Moira down there, but you don't want to commit too heavily. This is right outside the spawn gate for Bazooka Puppiez, so for Orgless and Hungry, playing a very risky game by trying to contend in there.
Going to move around the corner. They've been using the rally and the movement speed from Insomniac. Gonna have to wait a little bit longer to pull off that exact combo. Earth Shatter blocked out, but there's the Dragon Strike through the rest of the team. Insomniac going down, Leo Dead and Latex moving up, and already Bazooka Puppiez are in full retreat to the spawn room. They might be able to get the extra damage out. The D-Mech gonna be big, but they can't get the kill. Meta trying to dodge out. He will make it to the safety where he can reset it all.
So he loses 40% of his ult charge there by having to trade over. Orgless and Hungry were going for the kill onto him, I thought, there when he was in the Mini Diva form, just for the stall, but it does force him to burn out a good half of that ult charge, which means they've now got to build it back up again.
Already Kevster keeping an eye on that door. Colsty feeling some of the storm arrows, but not all of them. Is he going to get a visit from Meta? Graviton Surge into Earthshatter.
Oh,
it's
big.
huge for the Bazooka Puppiez, and they're going to roll over Orgless and Hungry and get this on the home stretch. But there's still a fighting chance for those noodly boys.
Still got hold of a couple of ultimates that are about to get the Grav Dragons online too, which is, as we all know, that huge combo. So keep an eye on Meta here. See if he manages to get that defense matrix down and block it out when it comes in.
They know which spawn gate they're coming out of, and they've already positioned themselves there. They're fighting through the storm arrow, but the Coalescence is going to top everyone out. Epps is spraying that down to heal them up. Graviton Surge keeping them together. There's the combination. That should be a shutdown on the Bazooka Puppiez, as Kevster picking up multiple kills for himself, and Latex going to swing the hammer, take out KSP. Team kill, 1 minute 50 to go.
Yeah, unfortunately for Meta, no eats today. Going to be a hungry boy after the end of this game. Oddly enough, it's the other side that's called Orgless and Hungry. It doesn't really match up. Maybe they need to think about some roster changes perhaps in that one. But as he stands right now, ultimates for Bazooka Puppiez, they're still stacking up. They're not going to have that Grav Dragon combo unless Mirror really works some magic like he did earlier on.
KSP's opening pick could be big. They turn it around with an Earth Shatter, self-destruct, and then force a retreat. Tri-Spear has been a crucial member for Bazooka Puppiez. Without him, I don't know if they've got the gas in the tank to make this work. And you can see them falling back. And Orgless and Hungry, they're like predators. They see you turn your back and they immediately lunge. They get that primal instinct to go for the kill, and it works for great results for them.
Good stall onto meta again, but this time isn't forced to change away, so almost has that online. They've got 4 ultimates about to come up, so Bazooka Puppies have the tools to make the push. Problem is, both defensive ults are up for Orgless and Hungry as well. They are really struggling to make a headway in towards this 3rd and final point.
Mira needs to get that extra percentage to get the combination off. The 1 team kill should be able to secure them this, as long as Orgless and Hungry don't make too many mistakes. But he's getting that cohesion done. Kevster going low, will drop down to the 4th.
Here they come as well. Big Shadow comes out, but no, we're going to land it down the other side. Out comes the sound barrier as the trade Tridd.
You're going to pull up that shield afterwards. Shatter not having the great effect. There's Graviton Surge from Bazooka Puppy, sending the self-destruct in. The Transcendence is there for everyone. Kevster finding a double. Kevster finding a double. Transcendence is still going for this team as they're forcing on the corner. Coalescence is keeping everyone topped up. Bazooka Puppies still need to get on the point and start getting some progress. They've only got 15 seconds left. They're getting kills, but they're not converting it. Meta going aggressive. Going to have to tuck behind the shield, but the reinforcements from Orgless and Hungry are here before Bazooka Puppies can make it.
5 seconds on the clock. This is their final chance now. Tridd, no ultimates online, but they're falling like flies. They've already lost 2 key members. That should be the end of it.
Sound Barrier is just going to seal the deal for Orgless and Hungry. Epps is getting a double kill on that Zenyatta this time around. It's one of his best picks. We haven't seen him play a lot of it or get on the kill feed at the moment. Latex shatters Mira for the kill. Bazooka Puppies can't complete Watch Point Gibraltar. Orgless and Hungry going to take the series 3-1.
Your heart has to break a little bit for the Bazooka Puppies. Last week, it went all the way with British Hurricane, going to 3-2 in Hurricane's favor. This week, they put up a fantastic fight. That Anubis game was one of the best I think I've watched on that map. But at the end of the day, the scoreboard tells the story. They are now 0-3. They've got to hope on other teams losing matches that maybe you wouldn't expect them to be able to find themselves in a chance for top 4. And that sounds really bizarre to be saying only in week 3, but that's the reality of it.
Need to show up to Contenders. You only got 5 group stage matches to make all that difference and get yourselves into the bracket. And really, having more matches and getting to that stage plays into what Contenders is all about. It's about highlighting players. And if you only have 5 matches to highlight yourself, you're not really giving yourself the best odds to get yourself noticed. However, players can do it and players can pop off.
And Orgless and Hungry have shown us that peak of play that I think I've been waiting to see. And we said earlier on, haven't really had the chance to prove themselves so far. The 3-1 against Young and Beautiful. Okay, 2 teams going through a lot of changes. First week, Angry Titans. We know exactly how that goes. I think this week they've shown they can contend, but Bazooka Puppies just won't go down without a fight. They keep on scrapping to the very end against any team.
Well, both teams made substantial roster moves in the off-season. It looks like Orgless and Hungry have started to justify theirs. We're going to take it over to the analyst desk where they're going to break down the second half of that series.